Welcome to a lesson with Dr. Powell. Let's take a look at how we can find a formula for a polynomial that has degree 4 and it has a 0 or an x-intercept of x equals -2 with a multiplicity of 2, and we also know it has a 0 of x equals 1 minus the square root of 2. Okay, and this is of multiplicity 1. How can we find this? Well, first of all, we know that if this right here is an x-intercept or a 0, then x plus 2, the factor when we plug in -2 into this to make it 0, would be a factor. We also know that x minus quantity 1 minus square root of 2 would also be a factor. But we also know something else. So when you see a square root, they always come in pairs. A minus comes with a plus. So we know that we have another factor to multiply by, x minus, and this 1 plus root 2 in parentheses there. We also know something else. See this multiplicity of 2? That means the power of this guy is 2. Looks like we have a second power, first power, first power. So it looks like we have enough to get a degree 4 when we multiply it out. Degree 4 is simply the exponent of the leading term. So now let's think about how to multiply this out. We only need to multiply this out to the point where we have factors that don't have any square roots in them, just like we did with having no i's in them. We just don't want any square roots. So let's look at this part right here and investigate it a little bit. Let's write out x, and I'm going to distribute that minus. -1 plus square root of 2, and then distributing that negative, you get x minus 1, the negative distributes the square root of 2 minus square root of 2. Now I'm going to block it like this, and I think this is a difference of 2 squares, like a plus b times a minus b is equal to a squared minus b squared. It's pretty much the same thing. So we can think when we multiply this out, we'll have x minus 1, and we can FOIL it, and you'd actually do the same thing. See how this part and that part will cancel each other, the inside and the outside. So we only have the first times first minus last times last. Or I guess this plus square root of 2 times negative square root of 2 would be minus. So we have an x minus 1 quantity squared minus a square root of 2 squared, which is just 2. So that's really what this is multiplied out. It's just simply that. Notice how we did that. We had to rewrite it in a way where we could have a block and a block with a plus and a minus right here in a natural place, so that we could think of a difference of 2 squares, get x minus 1 squared minus 2. Now let's multiply this out. We're going to get x squared, and when we square something, the middle term is always double this times that. So we get minus 2x, and then we have plus this last thing squared. So plus -1 squared, which is just plus 1. You could also see this by FOILing it by writing x minus 1 times x minus 1. Minus 2, and then this just becomes x squared minus 2x minus 1. So that means this whole bit is just this. So if we want to write out our polynomial, we'd simply say f of x is equal to x plus 2 quantity squared multiplied by x squared minus 2x minus 1. And there it is. Thanks for watching.